Welcome. I'm so happy to see you. Welcome. Come on into my sanctuary. And so you are here in the sanctuary of Joan of Angels. And it kind of seems a little spotty. So I'm going to don't know if you can hear me. Okay, perfect. All right. So greetings. Nice to see you. Let me know who's on and where you're from so we can make this really personal. This is Miracle Monday. So let's hear it for Miracle Monday. Perfect time to start shifting your energy for the week and really step into what you want. And it's so interesting. The times are very different now. The energy with October is just whooshing through. 2019 has the energy of potential for new beginnings, the energy of potential for transformation. It even has the energy for getting what you want. So it's kind of exciting to be, not kind of, I'm going to really watch my words. So today one of the themes is going to be watching your words. Miracle Monday, watch your words. Why? And that's a little bit interesting aside. So I'll tell you about the words in a minute. Hi, Lisa. Hello, hello. Yes, you are a goddess Pisces from Wisconsin. Very nice to see you. Welcome. So, yeah, I'm just so excited. So today is being this Miracle Monday. And by the way, Lisa, I too am a Pisces. So we might as well dedicate the first few minutes to Piscean energy now. And all of the horoscopes I'm reading for Pisces happen to be that this very hard energy of Jupiter is moving and will be moved by December. But that's our good luck, our fortune, and our miracle wave. So over the last 6 weeks now, I've started teaching work that I've taught before. And this is the Miracle Mastery Programs, how to really harness your energy, goddess over there from Wisconsin, how to harness your energy to launch what you want in your life and how to clarify when it's not what you want, which is even harder sometimes. So let me know where you're from. If you've just joined, would love to know where you're from and kind of tune in and drop into you while we're waiting. And also, if you are needing miracles in your life, then it's very helpful to say, okay, what kinds of miracles? So Lisa, let's answer this. And you could say pound financial, pound relationship, pound life in general, health, all of that. So I can really focus in. So I work with a lot of people, a lot of clients, and I do these readings, and they're called Soul Awakening Sessions. And they're very powerful. They're packed filled with information about who you are, why you're here, what your soul purpose is, the big picture, looking down from above down, and even then looking to see what has kept you from manifesting what it is you've wanted in your life. And that's huge, huge, because we all have potential. Every one of us is a possibility in the making. But what keeps us stuck is that there's a huge, huge gap between the potential and really where we're at. And sometimes it's insurmountable. But it's not insurmountable if you actually are in alignment, body, mind, and spirit, so you can go for what you want and go and get it. So meanwhile, I've been experimenting. I have just started to come back online after, I'd say, an 18-month hiatus. And it's been very, very exciting to not just see people I've known before online, but new people. And this miracle mastery mantra is very, very strong. So I'm going to actually pull a card right now to bring in the energy for anyone who is going to hop on and listen to this. And I've been experimenting with time. So most of this last month, I was on at 6 o'clock, 5 or 6, and now last week, I think I was on in the morning, and now I'm here at noon. I've been experimenting to see where, what time actually comes into the best, most fruition. So Lisa, you feel you're on track, but you can always use financial. So if we were looking at health, wealth, and happiness, and we were looking at it as a dial, that can give us an assessment of where we are on the miracle scale. So if you were to look, Lisa, on a scale of 1 to 10 on how on track you feel, then that's an interesting thing. So just put it down on the comments on a scale of 1 to 10, how on track are you? Because that's pretty exciting to have that. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, so on a scale of 1 to 10, anyone else listening, where are you on this scale of 1 to 10? I have to make sure I can actually see everything. Comment. Oh, look, I can make comments. Okay, so we're going to look for that. All right? Perfect. All right, so you're an 8. So again, there's also, and an 8 is very good. Just so you know something, if you're above, if you're 5 and above, then you're in the energy of at least possibilities. If you're 5 and below, and you're kind of on the other side, then you're carrying the energy of lower frequencies, and then the gap is huge. Does that make sense? You understand what that means? So we want to, so 8 means, but there's still that gap from an 8 to a 10. And that gap in itself is huge. So let's look at a few ways we can walk through or fly through or dissolve that gap, okay? So, right. And the gap is really hard. So energetically, let's just describe this. It's like, I know that when I began working with miracles, I was on the other side where we were desperate for a miracle. My kids and I, we were desperate. And now we were maybe a 2 or 3 when we began, but ultimately we got up to that. We pushed, and invoking spirit got ourselves up to the 8. But it always looked to me like here's the side we start on, okay? Here's the side we're going to. And between here and here always feels like this huge, rocky, unstable, swaying, wooden bridge with slats that are broken, and you could look down and see the rushing water, okay? So let's just say that where we're going, because in a way it is, it's a little bit more treacherous than we actually give it credit for. Raising our frequency and walking the path, the miracle path, in a sense, it requires us to choose the higher path, okay? So lower frequency, hang out in a bar, go home and meditate, do yoga, paint, go, play pool. There's choices, and there's nothing wrong with playing pool, by the way. But there is something that might lower your frequency if you start drinking and then you get into a fight, or, you're going down that path. So the choice you make is critical and very, very important. And between 8 and a 10, it's very intense because you're on a rocky bridge, all right? And one false move, if you can see this bridge swaying over that cavern and the running water down there, you know that you could be in trouble if you don't focus. So focusing to get from that 8 to a 10, to get to the other side, requires us to have a sense of what it is we really want. And, the lessons come in for me very particularly. So recently I decided that I wanted to build my business. I wanted to reach more people again and talk about miracles and spread miracle manifesting. And I had been offline for quite a long time. I always believe when I get phone calls and messages while I'm online, particularly, it's like a sign of something. So I hadn't done it for a long time. And I didn't even know, and I spent like months saying, what am I going to say? So I don't know if some of you like that, but we have to be perfect before we do what we're supposed to. And I had a lot of reasons, even though I was feeling that it was time to see, I don't know what's happening. Hold on there. Okay. So I kept getting this feeling I should go online, and then obstacles happened. And then really the very big challenging one was 3 weeks ago, and I was getting ready to do a new program called Awaken to Miracles, because my guides had said, Joan, it's time for you to use your voice. It's time for you to start sharing this work so you can start once again reminding people that they're miracle makers, that it's time for them to wake up and awaken. And so I kept getting this voice, and I kept getting more reluctant to push myself out, okay? I get that about your focus, and so that's probably why I'm talking about it, Lisa, more than normal. And it's all about how do we focus for this. So meanwhile, I'm getting ready to do my first presentation of Awaken to Miracles, and it's a fabulous presentation, and yet I didn't want to show up, and I had just spent the weekend talking to a dear friend of mine, and he was supposed to come out on Monday. And he was coming out for two reasons. One, he was a dear friend. And number two, he owed me money for a painting he had gotten. And he was here to pay. He was going to that was it. So I wake up Monday morning. Now, I'm very excited for lots of reasons, because investments here in the studio and sanctuary are always helpful. And I'm really excited. And I have a sick feeling. Totally sick feeling. And sure enough, God bless him, he died. Okay, he died on Sunday. And Monday I had woken up, and I was about to tell a friend he was coming, and then I thought, oh my God, I shouldn't say that, I'm going to jinx it. I bet he's not coming. And then it was like, yeah, he is not coming. And it was like the irony of that. Here he is going to, pay me money back and invest in the sanctuary, and that's so exciting. And then he doesn't show up. And I had a couple of days to really think about that before I confirmed that he had died suddenly. But what I discovered was that I was so pissed, and it so pushed me out of my comfort zone that I had no choice but to land in online and start doing what I had so resisted. I can only explain it, but it was like something ripped away. All right. And it was like, well, screw it. I'm just going to do it. And that's what happened. And I noticed that since I've gone online the last few weeks, actually my reach has expanded and expanded, and I'm reaching more people who really want to walk on a miracle pathway and start to have more energy and vitality. So I'm proud of you, hun, Lisa, that you don't go to bars. That is definitely a big deal to shift your energy, because the energy there is very, very low. I don't know what you're doing, health, wealth, and happiness, body, mind, and spirit. And I love that you come from a long lineage of psychics. So and I think it's kind of interesting that it looks like really you may be the only person online at this moment. So I'm kind of laughing at that. If you used your energy to clear the field here. Let's see, I can't really see everything. All right. So I am going to pull our very first miracle card, because the first thing about stepping into having miracles, and this is the very first thing we do, the soul awakening sessions are really about this. What are you here to do? Why are you here to do it? What's in the way of you doing it? How do we shift some of those challenges, shift away some of those obstacles, and really turn them into fuel to launch your dreams? And do you know what those dreams are? So there's several components You know, it's not just what are you here to do? What's in your way? What do we need to do to break you free? But then really clarify that it's the path that it's the correct path for you. Because there are many distracting paths, and clarity and focus are the ones that keep us on the right path. And a good example is a year ago, October, full moon a year ago, 2018, I went outside, said I need a miracle. And it had to do with chiropractic, whether I should go back to chiropractic or not. And I said, Spirit, if you want me to have practice, you will have a chiropractic practice. You will have someone gifted to me. Okay. And that's it. And I went back in the house, and that was my full moon meditation. And the next day I get a phone call from the doctor in town here. Do you want my practice? Now, when that call came, as excited as I was also disappointed, because I had worked very hard on launching Joan of Angels. And so again, this is Joan of Angels, was starting to go gangbusters. Here, that's Joan of Angels. And then chiropractic looked like my mouse. Okay, because it was practical and logical, and you know, a good use of my time and whatever. But this was the dream, the vision that I was launching. This was practical. So I said, okay, obviously the miracle is they gave me a practice, and I started. My back went out. My back I had a car accident, and my disc was bad, and suddenly now I could no longer really stand up. I thought I was going to be paralyzed. I realized that I didn't want to practice in Desert Hot Springs, worst place in the world. And my Joan of Angels stuff was like floating away while I was dealing with this, and I was feeling worse and worse and worse. So it took me 6 weeks to center myself. Okay, six long weeks to center and go, okay, isn't that nice? The miracle was offered to me, but is that, because I said that's the miracle I want. So kudos, Joan. Congratulations to me, because when that was huge. How often does someone gift you a chiropractic office? Pretty cool, right? But I was in the middle of launching Joan of Angels. So in the end, I walked away from the practice to save my life, save my body, and to go back to Joan of Angels. But by then, there was like a fork that had happened in the road, and I had to literally regroup Joan of Angels, these cards, part of Joan of Angels, because I had to turn my attention 180 degrees to the other. And so that's what happens when we don't have the focus that we're looking for. And it's so easy to get lost. So when I coach my clients, the first thing that we're always looking at is, what is it, all right, that you've known since childhood that you want, that you know that's you. So it's always about, I go like this because it's about diving deeper into that pool of what it is you really want, not just what it is it looks like. All right. I love that you're helping to transition your mom to the other side. When my mom passed, she had several times where she had near-death experiences a few months before she died. And she dropped her body. She went through this tunnel, and she saw beautiful angels. And they said to her that, you know, are you ready? And she obviously was not. She said to them, well, I still have to work out a few things with her sister and my sister, her daughter, her other daughter. And so she came back. But it was the first time I had ever met a person, my own mother, who had a near-death experience. And I was in the house, and like she called to me after, and she had been transported to another planet and another world. And so that was my mother. And in those days, I was a chiropractor. And as a chiropractor, when I was 30, I had been told that I was here to heal and inspire millions of people. So I always felt that I should be doing more than what I was doing. So even though I had a very large practice, I felt that I should be doing more because, Lisa, I knew my passion. I was here to heal and inspire millions of people. And that itself was my turn on, that I can make a difference in so many people's lives, that I could. So I became focused on how can that manifest. And so that began. But however, I will tell you that even if we know, many things can happen. And in everything gets a little foggy. In 1997, I was injured in a car accident and hurt, and I could no longer practice. I ended up losing my practice and basically losing everything. And so my kids and I turned to each other, and we formed what we called the Miracle Makers Club. And that too was my passion, because I had been teaching masterminding and miracles, and I know I've been a teacher, a spiritual teacher and visionary for all my life. So I started teaching about miracles and writing about miracles, because miracles have been the mainstay of my life. All right. But it's an evolution, Lisa. You have to remember, it's a package, and we're not shown the big picture. So at some point, I lost everything a second time, and I'm destitute. I'm emotionally, physically depressed. And how am I ever going to recover? And my guides had said, Joan, you will not recover until you're 100% aligned. So even though, Lisa, I knew what I was supposed to be doing, miracles and raising people's vibrations, living in this 3D planet is so all-encompassing that I ended up losing everything again. And it wasn't until I asked for another miracle. It was October 31st, 2013, which is close. You know, it's a few weeks away. But under that full moon, or under that Halloween evening, I began to get messages to paint 33 angels in 30 days. And, you know, it was really a little annoying, because that's a lot of work. And I wasn't ready to do a lot of work. Uh-oh, they want me to sound that out. I am definitely ready to do anything Spirit shares with me that's on my path, whether or not I have, you know, I may be cranky about getting out of bed, and I'm going to do the best I can to not say no. Seriously, they told me to paint 33 angels in 30 days, honey. And I said yes, because whatever I was doing wasn't working. And I knew what my mission and purpose is. All right, sweetheart, I knew. And I was still, you know, if the mission and purpose is direct, I was here. You know, I was 80% maybe. Well, by then maybe I wasn't, but even 80% doesn't get you there. All right, I have no doubt that that chiropractic practice is also part of my destiny. And it was, on that scale, it was like an 8 or a 9, you know, but it wasn't the 10, which is to do this work, raising people's vibrational frequency as a goddess on this planet and as a fully invested angelic being. And that is what I'm here to do, and to be seen and to announce it and to gather the angel brigade and to throw off our shyness about being an interdimensional person. I love that you feel animals, and you do, and teaching people how to, yes, because that's what people like us are required and are called to do. And that is our miracle. So my miracle has come from turning around and say hopping online with you or whoever usually likes to come. I think it's kind of interesting. We have a little private here. Okay, so in learning about that focus, so there it was, 2013, and I became a paintbrush for divine beings and was named Joan of Angels, and then came in, how do I handle that? What does that mean, being a paintbrush? What in the world am I doing? And how can I go out in the world and say, I am Joan of Angels, and not want to hide? Okay, so all that culminated in September when getting the messages that it was time for me to come out. And it was like, okay, Spirit, what am I going to talk about? Am I going to talk about the stepping in with the 420 spiritual beings? No, not yet. Am I going to do calling all angels and teach people how to fluff their wings? No, that's not it either. Well, what is it? And it was like, well, everyone on this planet needs a miracle. And suddenly, the whole thing came into purpose, and the whole program reignited itself. And my friend Brian's passing, just like it was that kick in the behind that I needed to run across that bridge, Lisa, okay? Because, you know, being an 8, when you're to be a 10, to be who you are, that's the juice, and that is the work. And I've discovered that's my work. So how long did it take to know? Well, 2016, I'm doing, it's New Year's Eve, and I'm in a ceremony, and I get a message from my guides that what am I here to do? I'm here to be an Oracle, what do they say? An Oracle Ascension trainer, to teach people how to get to the gates of these temples. Not to get them in, by the way, because that's not my job, but to get you to those gates. And then there was a whole process of learning, well, what the heck is that? So, my love, you start with where you're at. And yes, your mission is to help people. You're actually you are a medium. You help people understand and communicate with their animal beings, which is something very, very beautiful. And I think you do teach them how to have a better way of viewing things. So do you have any questions while we're here? You know, so focus. I'm going to stay with focus because that's the most important. And also, let's put this up here. I begged for a miracle. I really did. Even last October, it was like, Spirit, show me. If I'm to practice, send me the practice. I didn't say, well, send me the practice that's going to be, you know, really suited for my needs, up to my standards, a beautiful, whole lot of things in a safe area, things that I would have liked, perhaps, but I would have been more specific. So even beyond focus is spirit, is the details, like what would it look like? Now, meanwhile, I had Joan of Angels all, you know, ironed out, and I leaped off of Joan of Angels to go here because I thought, okay, that'll take care of me right away. You know, that's the miracle. And no, it wasn't. So what is it that's your 10? And that's how we have to look at it. All right. So let's see. I am going to pull a card. And it's an interesting card. I was thinking about it yesterday. The Heartmobile. This is a very unique card. It is the card of what happens when we go to the other side. Now, that is interesting, Lisa. You said that you've been taking care of your mother, and she is transitioning. And I was telling you the story about my mother when she was transitioning. And this card was painted the following year on New Year's Eve, so it must have been 2016 or 17. It was New Year's Eve, and I was guided to do this painting. All right. In this painting, they showed me that it was like a little family here watching their departed one going off to the other side. A Heartmobile that was taking them literally to the other side. Okay, this is interesting that this card very rarely shows up in any of my readings. So it's very specific. I'm going to tell you a little bit more about this card. So I started this very unusual painting. You know, it's like the underworld's there and this boat, and I go online. It was actually a couple of days, but it was the whole week before Christmas and the week after New Year. So it was that time energy. And I go online and I'm reading this blog, and there's a call out for someone who could take them, who could actually see someone who's passing on to the other side and somehow draw a picture of it or diagram it. I don't remember the whole letter, but it had to do. And so in conversations with this man, I discovered that he then went on to tell me that, well, he had a dream right around Christmas, and it was his brother who I guess had died and was saying, God, I don't remember all the details, but it was about, you need to be able to see where I'm going, or watch this, or, you know, it was something to that level. So I responded to him, and then I went in the studio, and this became very clear. So being here where you are, and your mom and the ones we love going off into that other frequency of dimension, but we are really not allowed to go, but we can kind of, and there are people that of course can see and send them off to the light, but in a sense you're having a view and a showcase and a way to accompany your mother and other departed loved ones that are on this journey. And it's good things happen when your heart leads the way is also another way. It is a heartmobile. And when I get in my vehicle, and I've been recently carrying a labradorite stone, because, you know, when you're in your car, you go to different places and you don't want to carry that energy. So, but I call my car my angel mobile. So I hope this is helping you a bit in discovering what your passion is. So your passion is really what you would wake up out of bed and do, whether or not you got paid. So I do soul awakening groups and readings, and I'm always talking to people I meet about miracles, and I just do it automatically. It's as if I automatically raise their vibration and turn on their switch. And so that's part of my mission too, is to be a miracle master, an angel being, holding high frequency vibrations wherever I am, whether I'm in Starbucks or downtown, really, honestly, or in a high-end event or a low end, it doesn't really matter. My job is to hold that frequency no matter what, and to learn to do that. So that's part of yours too, Lisa. How do we get you from that 8 to the 10? Now that is the question. All right. How do we get you to the place where you feel like you're doing your soul purpose, and you know that you're answering that call, and you are doing, that energy flows through you that literally takes this and puts it into reality? Does that work? Reach your people, you know, make it happen. So again, you know, in this work, so I started launching my miracle groups for this very reason of putting into action the masterminding, the miracle masterminding, the miracle magnetizing it takes to get from the 5 to the 10, the 8 to the 10, and being accountable with a team of people that can happen with. Say yes if you understand. Pound yes, you know. So that's the true way. And so another way to take that card is to also say, okay, well, here you are on Miracle Mondays. And Miracle Monday is, what is that miracle that you want? All right. What are you having patience for? And we can, you know, what patient for what? So every time I went to a psychic over the last few years, for the last 20 years, they say, well, you know, you're supposed to be famous, or, you know, you're supposed to be this leader. And I'd roll my eyes, you know, it's like, oh God, again, you know, I here's where I'm supposed to go, and I'm over here. I'm not on here. And that's what would happen. So, because I was an 8, not a 10. So it was quite challenging. And, you know, I started to get out a few years ago, and then I got, you know, enough pushed me away to go back in because I was really close. And in July, I had a reading with a human design specialist. And I really recommend everyone have a guide of their own, even if you're an 8 or a 10. It's really important not to lose track. And he looked at it, and he looked at my human design. I'd never had that done. And he says to me the magic words, do you want to know your purpose? Of course I want to know my purpose. I know my purpose. Like, what's he going to tell me? So he says, well, you're here to start a movement. And I like sat back. I was like, oh crap. Okay, what kind of movement? I didn't say much, actually. He says, but you haven't done it yet. Okay, so again, I hadn't done it yet. And then he says, you're really here to start a consciousness movement. I have news for you. It's going to be hard. It's actually very, very complex, almost impossible, but it's going to happen. And if you do that, so that's what I'm here to tell you, Lisa. If you are ready to do the work, so I do these soul awakening sessions, and people love the soul awakening sessions. They help you remember why you're here and look and dissolve what's been in your way to have that. So I will post that. I think I created a link to it. I did. Plan ahead. No. I thought that I had it. Let's see. It says a new agenda. No, not there. Okay, doesn't matter. But if you're interested, you'll let me know. Yes, it is exciting time to be on the earth. It's very demanding. And because it's so demanding, what's required of us is that, say this is the planet, all of its day-to-day life, wars, tribulation, everything, trauma, but we are required to be here, not here. Because when we're down here, we forget our major thing, and we're not as powerful. So actually creating and seeing it from, the crown is so powerful. Creating it from here, and then you could see what's going on down there, even in your own life and the life of the people in your community. That's how you can be that miracle maker. When your antenna and your vibration is at a 10, then you are actually raising the frequency of thousands of people around you. When you're at an 8, you could be raising the frequency of some, all right? But at a 10, thousands and thousands of people energetically, and it can align with thousands and millions around the world. So I hope that really, really does make sense. So yes, focus is really important. And then turning on that switch, I refer to it in some of the, you can see it on my YouTube. There's all sorts of videos about the Miracle Mastery Switch. How do you turn it on? And Lisa, this would be really, really helpful. Actually, I just realized I have a program that might actually be helpful. Look at my services, because I have one that's both soul awakening and the turning on that Miracle Mastery Switch. And that's how to get from an 8 to a 10. So if that's your interest, to be a 10. Now, my interest is to be a 10 for several reasons. One is that my guides told me very specifically that in order for me to have what I came here for and the world, the life, I need to be a 10. I need to be aligned body, mind, and spirit. And being off is not going to work. And they actually took everything away from me a second time until I get there, until I've gotten there. So it's really critical. But also because I actually came in to do this work. And the work is shifting others' vibrational frequency. So the more I hide, then the more I'm like building up karma for myself in a sense. So here's my secret that I use, and maybe it'll help you. One of my turning points was I imagined myself, I don't know if I imagined, I was in a vision. There were 13 angels, and I was in the center. And they said to me, well, so what'd you accomplish on the planet? They didn't beat around the bush. And I got to see that this mission was my 10, the one. And then I got to try to, can you imagine giving your guides and angels excuses like, oh, it was too hard. Oh, I got lost. Oh, the boyfriend. None of those, I was timid. So when my friend Brian died a few weeks ago, right before my launch, Awaken to Miracles, actually that happened on the Monday night or Tuesday night. I mean, I was finding out he died right around then. And I was so pissed off. It created such and shocked and upset. It created a little change in my DNA, which said, screw it, I'm going for it. Like time is too short. I don't have time to waste. And I went. So yes, being patient is good. But what do we do to get you aligned, honey, so you can be part of that exciting time? Because when you say yes, the excitement happens. So after I started my programs, Awaken to Miracles, now I have two upcoming. One's in Forest Falls physically, I'll be there, and one is online. Monday let's see. I'm going to give you good information because it's free and online. Okay. Okay, where is it? All right. Okay, good. On the 15th, online at 6 p.m. California time, we'll be doing Awaken to Miracles, and I'm sure you can find it on the Joan of Angels shop page, probably where you found this. So that's on the 15th, but on the 20th, the Sunday, I'm going to be in Forest Falls doing a free event, also Awaken to Miracles. Physically, I'll be there. There'll be lots of hands-on energy healings. It's going to be in the little forest, in the cottage, in the healing cottage in the falls. So it'll be very, very beautiful. So very, very much. Yes, I will try to post the links that somehow I can't find right now. All right, now, phew, covered a lot of ground. Awaken to Miracles, yes. And then how does that help? Well, so you said, yes, it takes focus, and it does. And here's the second aspect of it, developing your special gifts and your skills. So notice, you are unique and you can have it all. What I've just shared is very special moments when it became clearer on my overall big mission and my special gifts. So over the last 40 years, I've taken, or 30 years, I've taken that vision of I'm here to heal and inspire millions of people and kind of worked it through the Miracle Makers Club and the miracle work, and then the becoming a paintbrush for angels, channeling the angel messages, learning how to fluff up my wings and everyone else's, and then coming back full circle into, again, awakening to miracles. Because when you connect, and that's where we're going, how can we have more miracles on this planet for ourselves and others? So it's not that you know, all those years ago, I'd be doing what I'm doing now. I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing now in full awareness and consciousness. This last energetic upgrade boot for myself was the one that pushed me over that bridge, okay? So I asked where I am, and swear to God. Okay, so I'm at the toll booth. So in San Francisco, the Golden Gate Bridge has a toll booth on the other. When you get over the bridge, there's a toll booth. And so they actually have me sitting at that toll booth, which is a very good thing because I got over that whole treacherous area. And now I'm sitting over here. It's like, okay, the choices, the roads, the path, and we're seeing what is the most direct route. So Wonder Woman says, develop your gifts. Each of us came in with special uniqueness. You communicate with animals. You're a psychic. You do healings and readings. You teach people how to help themselves. That's that whole thing of what, you know, when you came in and you were told you're here to heal and help people too, then you had a little bag of miracle tools. Those are your tools. And that's what you're going to use to do that. So how long will it take? Well, we're always on the path, okay? And one of my specialties is helping people get there. That's why I even talk about it. They told me I can't keep it undercover anymore because I've been an undercover angel for many reasons. So even just feeling in your energy, Lisa, you'd probably love that package. That's the Soul Awakening, and then the Kickstarter Miracle Break. It's a Miracle Mastery. Turn on your Miracle Master switch. Why? Because we want to, what do we call that? Jet start you? No. Jump start you. Boom. Turn that on. get you going so that you're at that 10, that Wonder Woman phase of having it all. So I see we have a few other viewers. You're catching the tail end. You want to tell me where you're from so I can see and answer a question for you too, and kind of get you in that miracle groove. So here's something I will show. What is the miracle pathway? I think I've been talking about it. This miracle pathway saved my life. Oh, Anita, it is very good to see you, honey. Did we have a little miscommunication? If you want to rebook that, do that. Just go ahead and message me about that. Very nice to see you, and beautiful. Yeah, so what's the miracle pathway? It's what it takes us to get from the 5 to the 10, 8 to the 10, the 9 to the 10. The miracle pathway, in a sense, oh gosh, okay, I can feel my friend on the other side already. He's laughing. He said, well, Joan, don't forget the miracle pathway came from that kick in the butt that it took you, he means me, to even get back out here. So in a way, my coaching, that the work I do with people is I'm your angel kick in the butt, because that's what I really do, give you a kick in the butt and help you get really back on track and not get lost. Now, I will say this. Yeah, so very, very interesting. If you're on now and you've been on all along, it's because you are here to walk this journey, to walk a miracle path, to be the leader and the visionary that you came here to do. And yes, Tina Marie, I love you. I love kicking your butt, honey. We all need it. And as I said, I'm sure Brian's passing. He's laughing. You know what? He really is laughing. He said, well, if I'd come over and given you all that money, you might have just kind of been easier on yourself. I hate when people do that, okay? But looking at the big picture, and I'm always transparent about myself. I try to be. And I need miracles as much as everyone else. I walk this miracle pathway because I learn it as much as all of you. And, years ago when I studied to be a therapist, I have a master's in counseling. When I studied that, the big joke was that all of us in these counseling programs needed counseling more than anyone else. And that's why we were in those programs. And I probably did. I was very, very screwed up. All right. So I'm going to take a quick second to see what my guides want me to say and do. Does anyone have any questions? All right. So the miracle path is that which gets you to share your gifts with the world and know that you're doing what you came here to do. You're ready to kick your spiritual booty. All right. I call those angel slaps, little angel slaps. Sometimes we all need someone to come and fluff our wings. And I'm very hard on people, by the way, because I really see that it's one thing to have the vision, but it's another, the pragmatic piece. And so people, my clients are always surprised about how pragmatic we could take the angel realm, because we see the choices from up here and we see where it's a deception or the dark spot or kind of where you're being called to go. All right, so I'm so honored that you all showed up. It's a different time. I'm experimenting because I have to go to an amazing meeting tonight where I'm showing some of my cannabis art, by the way. I have a big piece of 420 Diva. So I decided to hop on at noon and see how that works and see if it's a better time than the night times. I don't think so, but actually this is perfect and you're all perfect. All right, so I'm going to pull a card. And this card is going to be for all of us, all right? It's going to be the Miracle Mastery card. It's going to be the card that says something that each of us can do on our miracle path. Oh, all right. Yes, the angel of pure love. And what does she say? She says, fluff your wings, dear one. You can do this. I am always with you. So let's do this together. Because I said, what shall I do with everyone? And now they said, well, fluff our wings. Well, so one of my business cards says professional wing fluffer. I should probably say master wing fluffer. There's not a lot of competition for wing fluffers. It's not like a job everyone applies for, but it's mine. All right. So let's fluff our wings. So take a deep breath in with me and bring your shoulders back, because where are your wings but your scapula and your shoulders? And we're actually right now taking a deep breath in and letting it out. We are going to, and okay, rub your hands together. All right, rub them so they're like this. And feel the energy between them, like this. All right. And we're going to send it out. Send it to me, because then I'll send it out. Good. Now, taking a deep breath in. And right now, calling in and feeling in each of our presence, the presence of our guides and our angels, coming closer as we're raising our own frequency from the third to the fourth, from the fourth to the fifth to the sixth, the sixth to the seventh, and the seventh to the eighth. Whew. Here we are at the eighth, and feeling right now the presence of your angelic companions coming into your room and into your field and standing behind you right now. And behind you, as they start to pull out each of your wings, every feather, to oil it, to grease it, to brush it, to comb it till it sparkles, removing lifetimes and lifetimes of grime, dirt, other people's impressions and words, fears of losing your head and your body, fears of being burned at the stake, removing all of those, beloveds. All of that has been in those wings, and bringing your shoulders back now and feeling your wings begin to expand into a lightness of being and stretching them out. Some of you may feel it as a color. I'm feeling my wings as a very, very beautiful white luminescence with a lot of gold entwined in it today. Very, very interesting. And they're pointy. They sort of really are pointy. So, and very elegant. So anyone see their wings? If you see your wings, write it. Let me see. Tell me what color they are, how you're feeling them. These are your wings, darlings. And these wings will, when you fluff your wings, it will help you hold the energy wherever you go. All right. So that's one of the things I'm leaving you with, the angel of love. She says, fluff your wings, dear one. You can do this. I am always with you. And the second thing, here we go, celestial homecoming. Almost said housekeeping. Courage, you are being supported. Take it one step at a time. So how do we take it? We take it one step at a time. Repeat after me. We do it one step at a time. And you know what? My guides, they give me one step at a time. So yes, it is patience, because they never show me the end now, because they know me. They show it to me one step at a time. So I love you. Many blessings. Red and gold, Tina Marie. Ooh. Very regal, actually. Very empress. Very empress. We'll have to talk about that, hun. Extremely gorgeous. All right. Well, everyone on this line, I just love and adore. I'm so honored. If you have friends or family that need miracles in their life, well, you know that if you let them know that there's a miracle maker who can help them, let them know. All right. And because we can't really say those words like share or tag on these videos anymore. All right. So Tina Marie has red and gold. I don't know what anyone else has. I have white with gold. All right. So blessings for you. I love you. I love each and every one of you. I love that you show up and cannot wait. I'll see you on Friday. I'm sure I'm going to do something wonderful again on Friday. All right, love, blessings. That's right. So joanofangels.com. And I already said this, but there is an online Awaken to Miracles program that I'll post the link to. It's online on the 15th. It's a Tuesday. Wow, that's like 3 or 4 weeks after Brian died. Whew. I've been in a whirlwind. And then there's a live one where if you were here physically, you could come and see me and be part of a physical healing circle on the 20th of October up in Forest Falls, California. All right, I love you. Blessings, miracles. Repeat after me. I am a miracle maker. You are a miracle maker. I'm a miracle maker. You are a miracle maker. See you next time. Bye for now.